Hey guys, welcome to Armchair Conversations with Rob. We're talking about the importance of foundation, and I had looked up the definitions of foundation in Webster's Dictionary, and the first one was the act of founding, fixing, establishing, or beginning to erect. Now, the second part of that definition was that upon which anything is founded, that upon which anything stands, and by which it is supported, the lowest and supporting layer of a superstructure, a groundwork, or a basis. Now, we were talking a little bit in the first section about the fact that your foundation is going to determine what kind of structure you put on top of it. I want to take a little different tack with this part of the definition: that which upon which anything is founded, that which anything stands, and by which it's supported, the lowest and supporting layer of a superstructure. I don't want to look at it from the terms of like building something physically concrete in the world, like your bank account or your empire or your organization. I want to look at it from the standpoint of your emotional foundation and your values foundation. A lot of times people will criticize things that they don't like in society. They don't like the role that society has given women or men or blacks or whites or rich or poor, and I can only speak for in this country because this is where I live, but a lot of times we complain about the things that we see going on in our everyday life without maybe taking a moment to pull back and realize that they are what has been erected on a foundation. So when I'm talking about foundation in this instance, I'm talking about things like, okay, here's one, won't be politically correct, but I don't care. The N-word, nigga, the N-word, okay? We get, as quote-unquote blacks or non-whites, we get upset about people using that word to us, particularly when we feel like they're using it in a denigrating way. Okay, I can kind of understand the pain of that, but this isn't going to make me necessarily popular. But you know what? When you call your own people that 100 times a day and it comes out of your mouth all the time, what do you do? What do you think that you're doing to help reaffirm and solidify that foundation? You're helping to maintain a foundation upon which you're building this oppression, this denigration, this lunacy. Okay? It's the same with anything. You could take any subject and use this formula. The role of women in society. We talk about women not being treated equal, women being treated, even in various countries, as property. Well, when the foundation is enhancing and affirming things like strippers on poles and women walking the streets, and in your video games, not to attack Grand Theft Auto, but they've been running around with that kind of stuff going on since I was a youngster playing video games. I remember it was a horrible thing, this game, and now it's become commonplace to play games like this where women are depicted this way. We, as men, go out to strip clubs because we want to see women dance around naked on poles and throw money at them and basically denigrate them in terms of boosting what we perceive as our own ego. And then we are the first person to not want our daughter to do that, or our mother to do that, or our girlfriend to do that, because we know in our minds what kind of foundation we're supporting with that behavior. So we don't want them to repeat it. Well, foundation is the root cause of a lot of the things that we decry in society. We talk about injustices, but how many times have you looked deeper behind those injustices and seen that you are secretly supporting them by the way you behave? We talk about what people do with their money and how, people use their money unwisely, especially people who have limited income or are struggling every day. We get mad if we work, say, in public service, particularly in a job where we provide any kind of services to those who are financially maybe in difficult situations or downtrodden, and we get mad when we see them, you know, buying a big screen TV instead of feeding their family, or we see them, you know, paying for nice clothes or crazy furniture instead of making sure the kids have diapers. Well, did it ever occur to you that we established the foundation of that by reinforcing it through media and TV, how you're basically nothing if you don't have certain things, if you don't have a nice couch, if you don't have nice furniture, if you don't live in a nice place, if you don't drive the right car, have the right watch, you know, or you don't have X number of dollars in your, you know, free to throw away bucket, okay, then somehow that you're not good enough. Everybody at the end of the day wants to feel good, and a lot of people will use those type of things to escape the pain of their life. So we have laid a foundation that makes it okay for you to spend and buy those things. As a matter of fact, our corporations and companies encourage it. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be there and available for people to buy, but I'm saying when you put out commercials that make it clear that you don't really have to think about a lack of responsibility, financial responsibility. Somebody else is going to foot the bill for you. You're owed this. You're entitled to this. You have a right, a basic right to X. And then people actually follow that, which then causes causality, ripples in our country, our financial structure, our economy, our foundations of living. Then why would you be surprised now that we don't have the things that we want and our country is having problems when the foundation that's supported is what is causing the structure to be built? So data upon which anything's founded, data upon which anything stands, and by which it's supported, the lowest supporting layer of a superstructure. The lowest supporting layer meaning that your underlying beliefs about things. So to me, that's how I'm looking at it. So your underlying beliefs about what people are worth, what people should have, what is important, go to reinforce what type of building you can build. Because if you remember what I talked about before, your foundation determines what kind of building you put on top of it. Well, we have to, in our own personal lives and in our communities and society as a whole, remember that what we support and what we think about and what we focus on is what expands into action. So if we build foundations that encourage stupid behavior, why would we be surprised that stupid things happen? If we encourage a fiscally irresponsible generation, then why would we be surprised when they don't contribute back to the infrastructure? If we encourage the dumbing down of America, why would we be surprised when in certain states, which shall remain nameless, 1 in 10 people still can't read? Or you have athletes that get out of school and are going to college and can't read because they've just been passed because they were good athletes. Foundation, the word we're talking about this time. If you're supporting this type of stuff, don't be surprised when that's the kind of building that you get. And I'm not saying I got the fix for people. I don't. Okay? I'm just saying be aware. And if it starts with you personally being aware of what you foundationally support in your world, then your community, then society. One by one, we can begin to change things. We'll begin to demand more things. We'll create better examples, and those examples will spur on our progeny and leave our third definition, legacy, to ask for different things, create different things, and maybe have a better world. Anyway, guys, thanks for sharing my armchair. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't, hey, search engines are out there. You'll find what you need, but I do appreciate you stopping by. In the meantime, have a great day, great night, great whenever and wherever you are.